A German supermarket just did the one thing Coles and Woolworths never would, and it's saving smart Aussies $3,000 a year. Number 10. The German machine that no Australian store can copy. Walk into an Aldi and the first thing you notice is what's missing. No giant displays, no fancy deli, no loyalty card, no army of staff restocking shelves. The store feels stripped back because it is. And every single thing they stripped out is money that stays in your pocket. Here's how the machine works. You need a coin to unlock a trolley, so you return it yourself, and nobody has to collect them. You bag your own groceries. Products sit in the same boxes they arrived in, torn open on the shelf so there's no restocking team. And Aldi carries around 1,800 products. A typical Woolworths or Coles carries around 25,000. Fewer products means smaller stores, fewer staff, lower rent, lower everything. And the biggest piece of all, more than 90% of what Aldi sells, is its own brand. No middleman, no big brand licensing fees, no celebrity ad campaigns. And every dollar they don't spend is a dollar they take off your price. That's how you end up with a shop that's dramatically cheaper without the quality dropping. They didn't cut the food, they cut the cost you never wanted to pay for in the first place. And stick with me, because the next one saves you money, even if you never set foot in an Aldi. Number 9. 25 years and the quiet takeover most people never clocked. Aldi opened its first Australian store back in 2001. 25 years later, it's the third biggest supermarket in the country with around 600 stores and sales of over $13 billion a year. It did that in a market where Coles and Woolworths control roughly 73% of everything. Think about that. Two giants own nearly 3/4 of the entire grocery market, and a no-frills German chain still carved out a spot by doing one thing they refuse to do: competing purely on price. And here's the part that should worry the big two. Aldi holds around 11% of the market, and it's still growing while shoppers keep drifting over looking for value. Every year that gap gets a little smaller, but the truly clever part isn't how it helps Aldi. It's how it helps you, even if you're loyal to another store. That's the next one. Number 8. The Aldi effect. It saves you money at stores you don't even shop at. This one sounds made up, and it isn't. Economists have a name for it. The Aldi effect. When an Aldi opens up in a suburb, the other supermarkets nearby quietly drop their prices to compete. You don't have to walk into the Aldi. You don't have to switch. The mere fact that it opened down the road pushes Coles, Woolworths and the local IGA to sharpen their prices, because suddenly there's a cheaper option 2 minutes away and they know it. So if an Aldi has opened near you in the last couple of years, there's a decent chance your Woolworths shop got a little cheaper too, and you never connected the two. One store showing up makes the whole neighborhood cheaper. That alone would be enough. But the next one is where the real money is. Number 7. The price promise. And the trick the big two play that Aldi doesn't. Aldi made a promise to Australians that it will never be beaten on the cost of your weekly shop. And it backs that with a number that's hard to argue with. An independent analysis put Aldi's price gap at around 16.8% cheaper than the major competitors. Here's what that means for a real family. Shopping weekly at Aldi, the typical household saves around $3,000 a year. That's nearly $60 back in your pocket every single week for buying the same milk, the same bread, the same mince. Now here's the difference that matters. Coles and Woolworths lean on what they call drop and lock, or special of the week. A limited set of products marked down for a while, big red ticket, lots of noise. Aldi's approach is the opposite. It just reviews the prices across the whole range and keeps them low all the time. One store is designed to make a few deals feel exciting. The other is quietly cheaper on nearly everything every day. And you don't need to hunt for the ticket. And if you think that gap is just marketing talk, wait until you see who's been checking. Number 6. The independent umpire keeps naming Aldi the cheapest. This isn't Aldi patting itself on the back. There's a consumer group in Australia called Choice that runs a government-funded survey. They send mystery shoppers into more than 100 supermarkets across the country, fill identical baskets, and compare the total. And Aldi keeps winning. In one recent basket, Aldi came in at around $76, while the same shop was around $90 at Woolworths, $91 at Coles, and over $100 at IGA. That's a gap of up to $25 for the same food on a single shop every week. And it's not a fluke, because Aldi has been named the cheapest in that survey over and over since it began. Add to that the fact that around 69% of Aldi's range is priced under $5, and 2 in 5 products are under $3, and you start to see why the trolley total comes out so different at the till. But price is only half of it, because the next one is the part that actually makes Aldi fun. Number 5. Special buys. The famous aisle of shame and how to time it. If you've ever gone into an Aldi for milk and walked out with a chainsaw, a ski jacket, and an air fryer, you've met special buys. It's the middle aisle Australians affectionately call the Aisle of Shame. Twice a week, Aldi drops a rotating batch of limited items, completely separate from the groceries. One week it's camping gear, the next it's kitchen appliances, the next it's snow gear or gardening tools. And here's the key, it's limited stock, and when it's gone, it's gone. The new special buys land on Wednesdays and again on Saturdays. So if there's something you actually want, you show up first thing on the day because the good stuff genuinely sells out within hours. And here's the discipline that saves you money. If it's not on your list, it's the aisle doing its job on you, not a deal you happen to stumble into. Timing works both ways. Show up early for what you planned and walk past the rest. Now, this next one is a promise no other supermarket in the country will make. Number 4. The guarantee that sounds too good to be true. Imagine buying a product, taking it home, not liking it, and getting your money back and another one free. That sounds impossible. Aldi actually does it. They call it the twice as nice guarantee. If you buy an Aldi own brand food product and you're not happy with the quality, for any reason, Aldi will refund you and give you a replacement of the same item. You get your money back and the product again for nothing. No other major supermarket in Australia offers anything close to that. Coles and Woolworths will give you a refund. Aldi gives you the refund and the replacement. It covers the Aldi own brand food range, which is the overwhelming majority of the store. You just need the receipt and the packaging and you bring it back. And here's why they can afford to be this generous, because the vast majority of shoppers never need to use it. When your products are genuinely good, offering to double your money back on the rare miss is the cheapest way to earn trust there is. Aldi isn't worried about people rorting it. It's buying your confidence to try the own brand, and it works. Speaking of that machine-like efficiency, the next one is the thing people complain about that's actually saving them a fortune. Number 3. The stuff that annoys people is the whole point. People love to complain about Aldi. You have to put a coin in the trolley, you have to bag your own shopping. The checkout operator scans so fast you can barely keep up, and you end up shoving everything back in the trolley to pack at those benches by the window. It feels less polished than the big two. But every one of those things is a deliberate choice, and every one of them is why you're paying less. The coin in the trolley means they don't pay staff to round up trolleys from the car park. You bagging your own shopping means they don't pay baggers. That famously fast checkout with the oversized barcodes means each shopper is through in a fraction of the time, so they need fewer registers and fewer staff. The boxes on the shelves mean nobody's paid to neatly stack every tin. None of that is laziness. It's a machine tuned to strip out every cost that doesn't put food in your bag. The polish you're missing is the exact thing you'd otherwise be paying for. And that leads straight into the one thing people assume is a downside, but really isn't. Number 2, no loyalty card, and why that's a good thing. Here's something that surprises people. Aldi has no loyalty program, no points card, no app full of digital coupons, no little barcode to scan for member pricing. Every other major chain in Australia builds its whole system around that card, getting you to sign up, tracking what you buy, dangling points. And here's the quiet truth about those schemes. They cost money to run, and that cost is baked into the prices you pay. Aldi's argument is simple. Instead of making you collect points to claw back a tiny slice of your own money later, they just make the price lower for everyone, right now, at the shelf. No sign-up, no tracking, no chasing a points balance that never quite adds up to anything. Some people miss the feeling of earning rewards. But a lower price on the day beats points you'll cash in maybe, someday, on something you didn't need. And once you understand that, you understand everything Aldi does. Which brings us to number 1, where it all comes together. Number 1, the Aldi system. Everything I've told you helps a little on its own, but the real win is running all of it together on one shop, on purpose. Most people use 1 or 2 of these by accident. You're about to use the lot. Before you leave the house, you build your list around Aldi's own brand range, not the big brands, because that's where the 90+% of the store lives, and that's where the savings are. If you want special buys, you go on a Wednesday or a Saturday morning, early, before the good stuff is gone, and you walk straight past anything that isn't on your list. In the shop, you buy the Aldi version of everything, knowing the twice as nice guarantee means if any own brand food disappoints you, you get your money back and a replacement, so you never lose a cent experimenting. You bag it yourself at the bench. You don't chase a points card that doesn't exist, and you pay a total that an independent survey has repeatedly found comes in up to $25 under the same shop at Coles or Woolworths. Do that every week for a year, and you're looking at around $3,000 that stays in your account instead of theirs. Coles and Woolworths are built to make money off your habits, off the loyalty card, off the deal that feels exciting, Off the walk past 1,000 things you didn't come for. Aldi is built to make money off efficiency. Once you learn the difference, you stop paying for someone else's overhead. One honest note before you go. Aldi still doesn't have a store everywhere. If you're in Tasmania or the Northern Territory, it isn't there yet. And plenty of people top up their Aldi shop with a few bits from Woolies or Coles, and that's completely normal. Aldi was never meant to be the one shop for everything. It's meant to be the cheapest place for most of it. So do me a favour. If even one of these 10 was new to you, give this video a like so more Aussies see it, and hit subscribe because Woolworths and Bunnings are next and you will want to see those. And tell me down in the comments, what's the one thing you always buy at Aldi and what do you refuse to? I read every single one. See you in the next one.